All right. Good morning. Dan here with tradingology.com in the trading room for June 3rd, 2021. One more session we got cooking this week, and definite volatility we got cooking in the markets right now. And as always, we do have our business partner and friend Dave joining us from the Strong Market team. Good morning, Dave, from your remote location. Good to see your phone is working. We'll see if your audio works. I'll unmute you here, or I'll just ask you to unmute. Dave's in a little bit different spot today, but we'll take a quick peek as he's getting settled in. There he is. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. That's quite the ride on the internals this morning already. I don't know if you can see it from where you're remote or not.
No, I couldn't, but I saw the market take a pretty deep dive right at the open here.
Yeah, it was interesting. We opened up like negative 1,500. It was on the way to negative 2,000, but it took a quick turnaround. It got to around negative 1,900. Now we're back up to negative 1,300. So it's trying to recover here. Powell probably made a phone call and said, "Come on, guys, what are you doing?" But
they're buying dip.
Yeah, we drew quite the V on there, and I literally took a less than 1 minute trade today on the micro NQs. I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, that's about the length of time that I would stay in a trade like that. Definitely.
That's about as much as I trusted this one, but it was leveraging one of the strategies that we use called the target hunter strategy, and a new target came out and it was hit within a minute. So I took advantage of that.
Yeah, target hunter strategy is absolutely crushing it. I mean, if it seems like everybody, if they follow the rules, will do pretty well. At least it reduces risk tremendously and gives you upside potential.
Yeah, so if you're curious about that one and you don't know about it yet, or if you remember and you haven't looked at it, definitely get in there and look at the setups there and the rules and how we leverage that in addition to everything else that we've done. So it was a quick in and out there just a half an hour ago, and then now I'm just kind of looking at seeing what's going on here. I see let's take a look at the indexes here. The interesting part is herding hasn't fallen off from a daily perspective, where we're seeing full bullish herding that's been drawn in here. So I think since that still exists, we're seeing this recovery or pushback up, because there's not a lot of bearish sentiment at this point, even though we had this major drop.
Right. We had full bearish herding now, or bullish herding rather, for 2 full days, no bearish herding whatsoever. And typically when we go 3 days of bullish herding, that could signal a top. But like you said, we've got a lot of bullish herding in there, and it doesn't go down right away when we got that much bullish herding.
Yeah, MT volatility is down in the 80s, so that's a nice happy place. The one thing that we did notice that we talked offline was tops can happen around the double digits on the buy sell. So, and we hit an 11 on that yesterday, so we'll be looking for that after today's close. Where does this fill up for herding, and where does that buy sell signal end up? So keep your eye on that.
Some interesting news. Did you see the AMC news?
I did. I'll pull over my other browser here, because that went just literally ballistic. If you guys didn't hear about this yet, it was up over 100% yesterday. I'll bring the chart over first, and I'll bring over the article. Here's the daily chart. Yesterday it hit 72.62 and it opened up at 37. And then today, AMC decided to say, well, since you guys are giving us a nice price, we're going to sell 11 million shares of stock.
Right. Yeah, surprise, guys. Their comment is precious. It really is. It's, we don't think that the price it actually reflects the fundamental value of the company at this point in time. And we also don't know how long the volatility is going to last. So basically, paraphrasing, we're going to take advantage of this volatility and sell 11 million shares.
Yeah. Then they blame that on it tanking. Well, it's like, no, I was going to tank either way, because that's just ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I guess the other thing that could have, I don't know if that spooked the market. It certainly did a job on AMC shares. I saw it as high as 75. Now it's down to like 50 or something. But you also had somebody from the Federal Reserve come out yesterday and mention the fact that the billions of dollars in corporate bonds that they had purchased up until December of last year are going to be are going to be sold. They're going to get out of those positions.
Ooh, interesting. I didn't see that one. I'll have to take a look for that
Yeah.
after the fact.
I caught that late yesterday on the CNBC. I don't know if it was Powell or somebody else said that, but yeah, I mean, in the percentage of their total portfolio is kind of small. I mean, they're at 7 trillion, and that I think they said it was 24 billion in these corporate bond purchases, and they're basically going to unwind those. I don't know if that was something that could have spooked the market today for sure.
I just see this one too, looking at CNBC, where the guy Wall Street analysts are foreseeing a 40% drop in the average meme stock, led by AMC. AMC is the new GameStop.
Yeah, those meme stocks have gone way longer than I thought they would have. I thought they'd be dead by now, but they keep pumping, and I think it's going to end badly, though. I really do. If anybody's in those, I think you just got to be real. I mean, you got to put, I don't think I would put even $100 into those things just to take a flyer. But if I lose it, I lose it, because that could happen.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing that we talked about a few months ago when GameStop and all that did it. And these people were sitting there claiming their diamond hands and they're holding for whatever, but they're sitting on hundreds of $1,000s of profits. Like, if you happen to get lucky enough to catch one of those, take your profits.
Yeah,
that's my recommendation. And we never give out advice, but if it was me, I would take my profits.
Yeah, because we've been in the market for so long. I mean, I've been in the market since 1976. I've seen these things happen time and time again. I saw it in the dot-com bubble. I saw all these, gigantic companies that were trying to make it on the internet, go to hundreds and, even $1,000 a share, and then end up at $3 a share.
Right.
It can happen.
Well, speaking of which, when things jump, we saw last year the dollar jumped. Well, look what it's doing this morning. I don't know if you've had a chance to peek at that one. Let me zoom in on that guy.
Yeah, I have not.
We are up over 0.5% on the DXY right now.
Yeah, that's a big move for the Dixie.
So it's just broke 90, and we'll see where that's moving. So we're keeping an eye on that as well.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that guy's moving. Let's take a look at crypto real quick. Crypto was up. It's starting to sell back off now. Looks like Bitcoin wanted to come up and touch 40,000, but it fell short. A little bit less activity in that recently, though. So it's kind of, I don't know if we call it stabilizing, but it's kind of hovering right here after a little move up today. We'll see what happens.
Well, if you look at those daily charts, I reviewed them a little bit yesterday. They're not bouncing back like they typically do. Typically, when you get those 40% drops, like I saw in XLM and some other coins, they bounce back right away within a few days. It didn't happen this time. They're still down.
Yeah, they're getting some bigger wicks too, that's for sure. Where we see the bodies are really small, but the wicks are on both sides of the top and bottom.
Right.
Whereas before it was more full body candles. So that's a telling sign as well.
Right.
And since it is Thursday, we've got fantastic news out of the unemployment. First time under 400,000. We came in green at 385.
Wow, big improvement, huh?
So yeah, those jobs. I'm starting to wonder, as they start to get rid of existing benefits, is this going to affect the new jobless claims reports that may or may not be part of it? I don't know if they're ending some states is going to affect new people and qualifying or not. I haven't looked into the specific details yet, but that's kind of an interesting angle I was thinking of.
Well, I don't think the state's unemployment system has changed any of their restrictions and policies regarding how long you can collect unemployment. I think it's still, for the majority of states, like 6 months or something. I don't know. I'm not really sure. And so if you've applied twice already, it's been a year, right?
Right.
I mean, if you started in the pandemic and you applied the first time and you went 6 months and you got the renewal and said, oh, I'm still unemployed, I get another 6 months. I think at some point those are going to come to a complete end, whether or not the Fed decides to continue those extra benefits.
Right.
I don't know how long you can go collecting unemployment.
Well, yeah, how long can they, it's just one of those, how long can they keep kicking the can down the road, right? It's kind of the same
Yeah.
thing for unemployment benefits. If they just keep giving people currency after currency.
Yeah, and I don't know about your area, but we're starting to open up here in New York, and almost every place I go into now, it doesn't require a mask if you've been vaccinated and stuff like that. And things are really kind of going back to normal here.
Yeah, it is the same thing we're seeing around here. And one thing we have noticed for like restaurants is we were out on a trip a couple weeks ago, and they literally had a sign up that said, please be patient. The people that are here are doing their best. We're short staffed, so people can't even fill jobs. We talked to someone else at a grocery store. We were trying to buy something, like, yeah, we're out of that. We don't have enough people to stock things. We wish I think the manager actually said, we wish the benefits would run out so we could hire people again, because no one wants to start, no one wants a job. She's like, we're so short on people, it's not even funny.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you mentioned that, because yesterday I was in a meat market, a local meat market, and I know the owner. I went to school with him in grade school, and we got to chatting for a little while. And he said, yeah, he had one person behind the counter. He's got a fairly large meat market, and he's got an older guy. It looks like his uncle or somebody. It's a family business. And he had one kid working there, and that's it. And they've got customers all over the place. And he said, I can't even hire anybody. I can't get anybody to work. And then he pointed to the prices of the meat. He said some of the prices have doubled over the last couple of weeks.
Put that on top of it.
Yeah, he pointed to the filet mignon, and it was like $11.99 a pound 3 weeks ago. Now it's $19.99 a pound.
Well, did you ask him if that price was transitory?
No, I didn't. I should have said, yeah, it's transitory. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
That's only the price this week, right? Next week it's going to go back. He'd be like, you're crazy, sir. I'm never lowering my prices again.
That's right.
Well, speaking of the guy that likes to say transitory, I just noticed this, and what do you make of this? Fed Chair Powell speaking at 6 a.m. tomorrow? Why so early?
6 a.m. where?
6 a.m. that would be Central Time, so 7 a.m. for you East Coasters. I don't think I've seen one that early in a long time.
Wow, that is kind of early. Where's he speaking?
Good question. Wonder if I can get to see if the Fed shares where he's going to be tomorrow or not. I'll check that after the fact, and I'll throw it in our channels, but it just talks about recent developments or recent ones. Is he going to say something sneaky? Let's see what happens to the markets tomorrow.
Maybe it's some sort of, I mean, who meets at 6 a.m.? Who does that? Right? Not even the Kiwanis Club meets like that early. I mean, for breakfast meetings, typically it's 8, or something, 7:38 at the 6. He must want to get some message out really early to the markets.
Right. He wants to beat that open or whatever. So that'll be an interesting one to see.
Yeah, definitely.
And so we got our good friend Kyle in here. As always, Kyle, if you got any questions, throw them in the chat. We're welcome to help you out as we can. Let's take a look across the board. Anything else that's cooking right now? Looks like it's almost rolling over again. We came up to some person's pivots levels here, and market's kind of selling back off. RTY hasn't yet. So that one's the least weak. Hasn't had the second roll off, but it is down a little bit more because it had a bigger drop. We're down over 1% there. Let's see what we're NQ's over 1%. The Dow's a 0.5%. So we're still negative across the board. Price signals are moving.
We've seen that though, as this last leg of the market has been moving higher. We've seen a lot of very sharp sell-offs every once in a while. So, a little bit of a crack in the market, I think.
Yeah, we've been mentioning it's kind of like walking on a frozen lake in the springtime when you start to hear the cracking.
Yeah.
The other part that I should mention, I don't know if I saw this earlier, is when we had that big drop, we also had a very large separation between the issues and the volume, which is another clue that it's not a real move. So this is about the biggest separation you can get right now between volume and issues. So I don't have a lot of faith that this is going to roll over again. I think some people that might be long might be hoping things, but be careful when you do that. But yeah, this large separation. We got a little V, but the volume is still negative. So that's one thing to keep an eye on. Unless that goes positive, we might just stay in sideways chop at this point.
Right.
But that was our third touch, as we mentioned, at 25 on that SPY VIX ratio. So maybe that third touch is what caused this little spike down. We'll see if it gets some added pressure or not, though. But as we mentioned earlier, we will keep an eye on that hurting. We'll see where the day finishes. We very well might be going to lower lows again here. We'll see. If you're trading it, be careful. Be nimble.
Yeah. We also mentioned on Tuesday that we had filled that gap on the Dow Cash Index at around 34,760, I believe it was. And once that filled, boy, we had a quick reversal from that level on that index, and then it still hasn't recovered. We're still trading below that, so that's kind of the area that I'm looking at. If we trade back up into there and we start moving higher from there, we'll probably make a new high. But that seems to be the line in the sand where the index is concerned.
Yeah, that 35 was definitely a point of contention when it first hit it back there. And now 34.8 is kind of the ceiling. We'll see if they can get their act back together and bust back through that, or are we going to go back down to the 50 where it was support once before. We'll keep an eye on that.
Elon Musk is up to his old tricks again.
What's he tweeting now?
Yeah, he's tweeting about something called a Baby Shark, which is it's a company that ended up making a song. I guess it's called Baby Shark, and he tweeted about it, and it's a children's song, and he loves it. He thinks it's absolutely fantastic. And there's a company called Samsung Publishing, which is not related to Samsung, the technology and manufacturer. And they surged about 10% based on his tweet of liking that song.
I saw the one that he did about I'll pull up his account here. I did see he did the old picture that he keeps talking about Bitcoin. I don't know if I caught the one on your song though. Is this it? Here we go, baby. There we go. There it is.
Yeah, he tweets about this children's song, and then the company goes up 10%. Now,
that's crazy.
He's becoming an investment advisor. He's becoming someone who is like publicly, recommending different things, and I guess he could say, hey, look, all I did was tweet about the song. I didn't even mention the company.
Wow.
But he's becoming extremely influential in the meme community, in the Wall Street Bets community, and all these other online communities that are looking for him for, some kind of signal, it seems, that, hey, whatever he likes, we're going to just pile on.
So there's literally a Baby Shark crypto token? What?
There is?
That's what they're talking about. Since he tweeted about that song, the cryptocurrency token went crazy. Let me see if I can find it on the listing here.
So some people bought the shares of the publishing company, and then there's a Baby Shark crypto that went skyrocketing. That's hilarious. People are confused. Well, do I buy the crypto or do I buy the publishing company?
Right. How the heck? They need to give me the symbol. There's a couple babies under crypto. Baby Shabwain with whatever that is, wrapped ether tokens.
Well, hey, I posted that article that the Bloomberg reporter followed around this blockchain guy who made a cryptocurrency for him in 3 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody came out with a Baby Shark cryptocurrency in 3 minutes after he tweeted that and said,
that could be.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'll have to look up that one after the fact, but that's crazy. But yeah, just doing a quick search on it. There you go. Elon's Baby Shark sends shares soaring. Maybe Yahoo Finance can give us the insight. Now they're singing it literally. Smart study. So here you go. It's even more than that. This is the company. Wow. You just can't make it up.
Insane, isn't it?
Yeah, you thought the other meme stocks are crazy now. Holy cow. That's something else.
I didn't see any report about this, but I did see a headline from CNBC saying that the SEC is, well, the headline was the SEC and Elon Musk in the same headline, and I'm not sure exactly what it said, but it seems like, I mean, if he is really that influential, they got to like put a muzzle on him or something. They're supposed to be out there protecting the investor. And if he's just tweeting about all these different things, what is the purpose? What is the purpose? I mean, is he actually trying to influence those shares of stock? And did he buy them ahead of it? Did he front run, And
he probably straight up claim he did, because he was probably like, no, I can do whatever. Come get me. As we mentioned this, when we get close to the close of the show, look at the SDs here. We're at a negative 710 right now on the New York.
Whoa. Wow. That's heavy.
It's spiking seriously down. And what's interesting is that is happening while the internals are rallying. So there's definitely a mixed bag happening right now. We just had a big move up to negative 1,000 only, but there was a ton of sell orders that came in there. So that was kind of interesting. Now we're getting the other side. We just saw a positive 500, and I'm watching this right here.
So where's the advanced decline now? Is it positive?
No, it's still negative 1,000.
Okay. But heading higher?
Yes. In a hurry. And volume is just about to try and break into the positive territory. Looks like it touched it just a little bit. Yeah, I'll show you the look at what the futures just did. Just shot right up to the top of my screens. The diamonds just went ballistic. They're trying to keep everybody off guard. They're trying to say, look, we're going short. And they get people in short. Now they're going to squeeze them.
Yeah, volatility has been incredible around the opening in the first hour. Well, let's see if we get chopped the rest of the day and kind of see what happens at the end of the day. If we sell off or we go higher, it should be an interesting day, though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, with that, we'll probably let you cruise. I appreciate you joining us from your remote location. I thought I was going to be solo, so thank you for jumping on your phone.
Hey, I do whatever I can to help you guys and support you guys, and I love being here in the trading room. So, my pleasure.
Awesome. Well, we'll catch you next Tuesday, and we'll catch you guys in the Slack channels in the meantime. And everybody have a great weekend.
Yep, you too. Take care, Dan. Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
Dave.